So my genius guest today, Rose Latham. I was trying to think before the call started. Like I was trying to think if I could summarize my experience of you, like really succinctly. That's what I was trying to think of before I came on the call. And I couldn't come up with a word, actually, which is unusual for a man who is rarely short of words. But I had this incredible feeling. There's an incredible feeling of being with you, Rose. Like from the moment we first met in Mumbai in a lift. What a place to start a friendship. Why not? And ever since then, you have this glow, this presence, this way of being in the world that I adore, and I think it's such a privilege to be your peer, to be your mate, and to get to talk to you today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So I've got 3 questions. Da-da-da! Kibby does preparation. Who knew, right? First one was, personally, what was the biggest personal transformation for you in the school?
Personally, it's been really experiencing, not just knowing intellectually, but really experiencing that the more relaxed I am, the more I can know that it's actually possible for me to operate and be successful from that place.
Wow.
Um,
I
and
don't want to rush
it's
over
still
that.
settling now. It's still settling.
Yeah, I was going to say, my instant sense was, oh, let's make that a hot tub for a minute and chill out.
Yeah.
Or a cold tub, depending on what your thing is, right? But that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like if everybody watching this just heard that and sat with it until it descended into the body, that would change a lot.
I can give a really like tangible example of
Oh,
that.
cool. Yeah,
Like
do.
right now, it's very live. So whenever this is going out, I imagine this is probably going to go out after the ultimate Birmingham experience that is taking place next week. And we've been, as a
Buy your
leadership
ticket
team,
if you haven't, by the way.
buy
Buy
your
your
ticket if you
in
haven't.
case this goes out before,
In
buy
case
your
it goes
ticket.
overboard, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and we've been, as a leadership team, we've been working on this and creating this and involved in the birthing of this for a year.
Yeah.
And we were on a team meeting last week, and we're all so relaxed. And I sort of said to them, I just feel I should be more stressed. Like
Yeah.
why we're not stressed enough.
Yeah.
And then as I said it, I was like, because I haven't created from here before. Like,
Wow.
or I have, but not with such awareness. Like this has been a
Yeah.
very gradual settling. And it sort of happened as a byproduct. I see the school, like being part of the AJC school, has been a massive catalyst for that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so
God,
that's
that's
a very
massive though, isn't
tangible
it?
example. It's absolutely huge for me, but also for people that are around me, for my family.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
the ripples of that in just in the 4 walls of my home is immense.
I love that. I mean, like, I found myself anecdotally saying to somebody last week that, from the universe's perspective, creating an event of that magnitude is exactly the same as organizing a 30-minute one-to-one conversation. It doesn't differentiate. That's a mind game. So the fact that you can chill into it and with the team and the repercussions for your family. Wow. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. And that in my business as well.
Yeah.
So for context, I've been working full time as a coach for it's just coming up to 3 years. And so this last year, I obviously have the benefit of experience sitting alongside that.
Mm.
But but I'm having circumstances have like similar circumstances have appeared, say around money, for example, like income has gone down, and I've been okay with it. So it's like it's really shifted how I'm relating to so many different things in my business, with my clients, with myself. Yeah, it's really been
Yeah, that is
it's
huge, isn't
been
it?
huge for me.
I love it. Wow. What a golden star. That's brilliant. Thank you. So the second question was professionally, which I think you started to hint on there. Professionally, and what I'm really interested as well is if there's something like you didn't expect. So I mean, what you've just said there sounded like it's completely unexpected for you. You know, track record is to stress over stuff. Then
Yeah.
suddenly you find you're not, and there's that tail end going, maybe I should be more worked up, and then that cakes out as well, and now you're just in open water. So
Yeah.
professionally, anything else that's really hit you?
What was really one of the things that really shifted for me as part of the school was moving to create a full practice.
Yeah.
And actually you're involved in this bit, because it was my tendency to look at what other people are doing and copy, like they've got the way, like I
Yeah.
didn't realize, but I've spent a long time doing this. And it became very apparent that I think other people know what they're doing and I don't. And if I just copy them, it will be fine. And I'm a great imitator. And within work, and I can work out what the boxes are to tick, if you like, and then I can go and tick them and then I'll be successful. And in coaching, it's like you can do that and then you miss
Yeah.
so much. And it's like you've got to, in any business, you have to create it your own way. But you can hear that, but you actually have to, what I
Yeah.
had to do was test it. I had to go out and test it. So part of AJC was testing that. For a very tangible example was, okay, we had a big section where we talked about getting full in our practice and how helpful that was for very many reasons, removing the neediness, operating from abundance, and so on and so forth. And I saw you kind of taking that and implementing immediately, and you put out a brilliant offer for people. And so my mind just went, well, I'll just do that. And I did that. And it was great. And I generated some clients. And then, but it felt very uneasy for me. There was something in there, and attuning to that. And then seeing that, like, well, okay, it doesn't have to look like that. So I then doubled that. I went for a low, no-brainer entry point price. I was like, well, I'm just going to double that. And then I brought that, doubled the price, and was still creating clients from there. And then I brought it to a session. The laser session happened to fall around that point with Ankush. And it became very clear from the data that I've collected around where my clients come from that actually, what if instead of going that end, what if I could see that the longer people work with me, the more likely they are to renew. And that had been my experience in my business. So we'll use the data I've got, like use the feedback I am getting, not other people, but use the feedback I'm collecting in my business for me to create an offer that works for me and for my people, people in my world.
Wow.
And so I did that.
Do you know how wow what you've just said is? That like honestly, that I don't think I've ever heard anybody, including in the school, describe how to personalize your business that clearly or that succinctly. That tiny snippet, and I'll send you the raw of the recording. It's brilliant. Like really, like I'm goosebumps. I've never heard anyone say it that succinctly. If every coach who wants to get to that like first base, I guess, which is full. Maybe that's not first base. Maybe a paying
That
client is
feels
first
it
base.
feels like six.
Yeah.
Further
But
down,
you know
but
what I
yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
if everybody just took what you just said there as a masterclass an internal masterclass, not a copy rose, an
Mm,
internal masterclass in how to create, what Steve Chandler calls advanced client systems, which is
mm.
systems that work for you, around you, the way you are. That will change the industry. Rose Latham, genius.
I just didn't realize it was that profound.
It
And I
is though,
think
isn't it?
that's the beauty though of, and I guess being surrounded by the caliber of peers that you are in a container like AJC
Yeah.
is that, and again, it comes down to this testing. And I can hear testing so many times, but I didn't really grasp what that meant. For me, I interpreted that as intellectualizing and learning for quite a long time, even though I knew that wasn't testing.
Yeah.
But literally
You see
doing
that,
it in your
like what
life.
you've just said there, right? Like, Jesus, what you just said, I told you this was going to be good. But what you just said there, you said something like, I've heard it, I heard testing a million times,
Mm,
but I took it as intellectualizing and rather than and learning.
yeah,
That isn't testing.
no.
Oh.
And what's it?
I think we should make people pay for this.
What's
Way too good stuff.
astounding to me? What's astounding to me is that I had been clearly, I have been testing things in my business because I wouldn't have
Mm.
a business if I wasn't testing it. But
Yeah, sure.
I didn't see it like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was like, well, these are things that I do. Like these are like almost like these are requirements. And what the whole experience has enabled me to see now is, oh, the whole thing's been one massive like experiment,
Mm.
for want of a, because that word test can feel a bit examy, but I suppose it's been one big experiment, and that's released so much pressure as well.
I
Of
love what you
like,
said. I love what you said there. That's the depth of how much you've understood this, in my view,
mm,
right? Like you've recognized that test doesn't resonate for you. It doesn't bring
mm,
the feeling.
mm,
So you went with experiment, and
mm,
someone else could go with exploration. The
mm,
word that came to mind for me is adventure.
mm,
I
yeah,
tend to see things as adventures and entertainment. If
yeah.
something doesn't entertain me, chances are I ain't going to do it.
And that's a
That's
really
my
good,
like that's like my system.
yeah,
If it
but it's a
entertains
great
me, I'll
sign of
do it.
that personalization, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this really doing this
Mm,
entertains me. Just sitting with friends, with colleagues,
mm,
talking about this business that we love, like and
mm,
the art of coaching and the science of it, and picking out gold from it. Do it all day because it entertains me. That's what I love doing.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's a it's very easy to miss that.
Yeah, totally, totally, totally. Final question.
Mm.
If you could give anybody like a top tip or a hint, what would it be?
And I have thought about this, and um, from what really helped me was absorbing all the resources and the materials, and then choosing. It's that word like being discerning about choosing what you want to implement or test or experiment or explore, because you can't, it's impossible to do it all.
Mm,
You literally can't. And my approach was, it all looks really important, it all like connecting with people, watching all the things, reading all the books, actioning everything, all looks really important. And then I really started to see that that was my thinking was telling me it was all really important, and actually somewhere else there was a pull, if you like, towards certain people, certain directions, and that's okay. And that's okay. So trusting that you, almost like trusting, to use the being, in fact, trusting that your being will guide you within the container to where you need to go and where you need to be, and what's going to work best for you. And you might need to test it to see that, to get a sense of that. And that's okay.
Rose, a million people are going to want to reach out to you after this. What's the easiest way for them to do that?
Facebook and LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Rose Latham Life Coaching is the best place to find me. And I would happily speak with anybody about AJC or running your coaching business or anything.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you. Thank you.